and the other side that we increase some of the departments based on year-to-date expenditures. So I mean, the analysis really comes down to looking at all the year-to-date activity and then kind of looking at that trend and estimating out for the end of the year. Now, I'm not going to do a budget item for every line item, but I always address those departments where you have those items that potentially could be over budget, and I have those for you guys to review and approve today. That's basically the general fund, though. Based on the omnibus budget amendment, there's really not a change in the net figure, but you have departments that are going to be overspending, some departments underspending, and then you also have decrease in revenue, which is offset by some decrease in expenditure. So that's mainly what's going on with the general fund. The other funds that I am recommending for a budget amendment as well too, I can go over those real quick, is the major road fund. And specifically in the major road fund, the budget amendment is related to some projects that were not on the omnibus amendment for the Fletcher Park and Telegraph sidewalk. Those items were projects that started in previous fiscal years with delay in billing. Most of these projects are ran by the state or county, and they're very delayed in billing. And those weren't caught during the omnibus budget amendment. So as like I said, if the account showed zero in March and then all of a sudden you see a $200,000, you'd be questioning what's going on. We figured out that we didn't account for that carryover, so we have to put on the budget amendment so that we have that expense there. So that's why you see in the major road fund we're adding about another $350,000 in expense related to those projects. Some of the expense is offset by a TIFA contribution, which was approved by TIFA in the previous year, and also is included for on the TIFA's budget that was passed by TIFA. So that's what's going on in the major road fund. Why we need the change there is because we want to account for those expenditures before the fiscal year. Keep in mind we can't change the budget after June 30th, so that's why we need to do it now. We can't do it July 1. So that being said, that's what's going on in the major road fund. Now in the building department fund, as you can imagine, we had to address a couple items. Revenues. Revenues are down significantly April, May because of the COVID-19. The inspections were the trends of inspections were way down compared to prior years and things like that. So I addressed that in the revenue as I anticipated revenue to try to be a conservative approach to see what the June numbers are going to be. From what I hear from the department is that the permits are picking up and they are doing a lot of processing of the permits in June. So I hope for a huge June, but I also like to be conservative when we're talking about revenue. So I addressed that item in the revenue side, and on the expense side, there's only one big capital outlay expense that was addressed on the budget for the backlot security, which is funded mainly through the building department fund. Again, another carryover expense that wasn't caught on the omnibus budget amendment because of some delayed billings from the suppliers or vendors. That being said, and then the last one that affects the general fund as well too is the golf course fund. As everybody can imagine, we discussed it during the omnibus budget amendment, is we're going to keep a close eye on the golf course revenues and or expenditures and see how things are going. So with that being said, I did discuss some stuff with Ian at the golf department. I looked at all the expenditures, I looked at all the revenues, tried to estimate the conservative revenues for the month of June to come up with my estimates for revenue. But as you can see, it's a large decrease in revenue, but offset by a large decrease in expenditures as the facilities weren't open, operating costs were low, were for wages, salaries, and supplies. So the net effect since our last budget amendment, the net effect was an additional $200,000 estimated shortfall in that fund, which is being budgeted transferred to the golf fund from the general fund. That being said, I like to be conservative, so worst case scenario, the general fund will only transfer what it needs to for that fund to not be in a deficit. So hopefully that it won't be the full amount that's budgeted, which is $750,000. Hopefully it'll be $600,000, $650,000. It all depends on this month's revenue sources. But I like, because this is our last time to do the budget amendment, I like to budget conservative and hopefully overestimate that cost so that at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the day, we're covered in that shortfall. But I know that the golf course is open and there seems like they have a lot of play going on, so that's good news for revenues. But again, I get forward to be conservative in my numbers when I estimate because of that. So.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
In reference to Fletcher Park, that was a grant, wasn't it?
Fletcher Park was funded partially through a TAP grant, that's correct.
How much was it, you remember? offhand?
You know, I don't know what,
800,000, how much was it?
450, I believe we have.
And we've used that up, has that been expended?
I believe that's all been spent, I think that's on its final stage, right? Yeah. Yeah, I believe it's on its final phase. I think there's just a small, like a final bill from the county or state, whoever's head of that project, and we're all set with that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I just got a quick statement, you know, and basically, you know, it looks like most of the directors are here, and to the mayor and you guys, we're starting out in a hole because of this COVID, you know, and we're definitely praying that we get some sort of government assistance to help us out. But I'm asking the administration, I'm asking the directors to do whatever you can to help us. Because if another round of this comes back through, you know, we built that money up for a rainy day, and this is a rainy day, but we don't want to spend as much of that money as we possibly can. You know, the least amount, the better. We understand, at least I understand, that we're going to have to tap into that a little bit to, you know, keep the system going. But, you know, I urge everybody to try to do something on your part to look at saving money when it can be saved. So, other than that, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Item 27 is a motion to approve July 2020 payroll in the approximate amount of $1,927,000.
Motion. Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Pat, supported by Councilwoman Croft. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Item 28 is a motion to approve Alpha Psychological Services, PC, to perform pre-employment evaluations for fiscal year 2020/2021 funded through General Fund HR Professional Services.
Motion to approve. Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Cross, supported by Councilman Bezura. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Item 29 is a motion to approve memorandum of understanding between Davenport University and the City of Taylor.
Motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Ramik,
Support.
supported by Councilwoman Witten. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Item 30 is a motion to approve Fifer Investigations LLC to perform employment background investigations for the fiscal year 2020/2021 funded through General Fund HR Professional Services.
Motion. Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Pats, supported by Councilman Bezura. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Item 31 is a motion to approve AFLAC to provide voluntary short-term disability, critical illness, and accident insurance to the City of Taylor full-time employees.
Motion to approve. Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Cross, supported by Councilman Ramik. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. This now takes us to open business. However, we do have one open business item, and that is a motion to approve protective barrier systems throughout the 23rd District Court building. If you have any questions for, can I have a motion?
Motion. Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Cross, supported by Councilwoman Witten. Is there any discussion? If you do, I can get Judge Salamone on the phone right now. Okay.
Maybe we can just explain to our residents, I know.
Yeah, it's protected glass that we're putting on all the counters and stuff to protect our employees. You know, with the, not just protective barrier for COVID, but for also other altercations. Or Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know the exact details of everything within this particular item, but a lot of it will be similar to what's taking place at City Hall. If you've been back in the call center, how the cubicles have the additional glass that is extended in height, and it allows some additional coverage. They're going to install some items like that, but all of this is really related to the new COVID requirements.
Right.
And of course, at some point, if we can submit for reimbursement, we expect that this will be a qualified expense.
Okay. Good. Is there any other discussion? Okay, if not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. All right, at this time, I'd like to ask council or the mayor if you guys have anything you'd like to discuss.
Yeah.
Councilman
Go
Ramik?
ahead.
Mr. Buck? Question,
Mr.
please.
Buck?
You wanna come up front? Can you give me an update on the Holland Road where the sewer is still draining into the backyard?
I need you to be more specific. I have tons of sewer problems.
You don't have one on Holland Road, just short distance from Goddard where I sent you a message on 11?
I would have to check and find, I've sent the building department out there and they checked it and they inspected it and they were doing ongoing inspections on
No,
that. So I don't know
It's still flowing into that backyard, which means a lot of.
I don't believe that's sewage according to the building department.
Really?
So, yes,
I've been there.
I need to get an update. If you would send me an email, I could have got you an update for tonight, but I have to talk to the
I hate
building.
for that to be a health hazard and a safety hazard.
I understand.
Thank you.
But I did talk to Jesse about it. They did go out on site. He was familiar with the project.
I was over there, it's still open and drained.
All right, I can get an
Thank
update
you.
on it.
Okay. Anybody else have any other thing?
Do you have something else?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you said
got
you had
one
a
more
couple.
question, but it'd be for Laura.
Okay. I have a question about the doors that are coming in here. Is there gonna be a swipe card, or I know we had, Mayor, you had talked about having somebody stationed there for when people come in. Can you explain a little bit about those doors? You walk in, it's like, oh, there's new doors.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, we're working right now currently on a reopening protocol. So there will be somebody there to greet you. The only thing different really that we'll do is we'll require the resident to sign in so we have a record of that they're at City Hall. One of the issues that we have routinely is people coming into City Hall and we don't know they're here. So at the end of the day, oftentimes we have to sweep the building to make sure nobody's in the bathroom